Today's financial advice is sponsored by Endeavor Private Wealth. We're joined by Chris McGee, managing partner with Endeavor Private Wealth. Chris, good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you had a Merry Christmas.
We did.
Oh, good. It always goes by so fast, but it's fun when you have young children around. I was wondering if you have maybe any thoughts on, one more gift that may be a little more or last a little bit longer and have a little more significance than maybe some of the others we see this time of year.
Aaron, it's always a pleasure to be with you and your viewing audience. And yes, there is one more gift that we can give our loved ones that is very valuable and important. And it's not something that you buy at a store or online.
Oh, well, you have piqued my interest.
Well, what I'm referring to is estate planning. And it is a fundamental cornerstone of comprehensive investment management, and isn't necessarily a happy or fun topic to discuss, but it is very important. And with proper planning and timeliness, instead of avoidance and procrastination, estate planning can bring peace of mind and financial security to those that we love most.
And like you said, I think it's one of those topics that people really don't want to touch, but it's so important, and it sounds like it's really a vast subject. So where do we start?
Yes, it's very broad, and it's often thought of as something that we just discuss as people get older, which is important, but I want to actually focus on some of the younger and growing families with children.
Very good. So if a parent dies, let's say, and as hard as it is to think about that, the surviving parent continues to care for and raise the kids, but what happens to the kids if both parents tragically pass away? I mean, I don't think that's something that most people would really want to leave up to, say, the family courts or the probate courts.
Exactly. So let's start with the guardianship. A guardian is a person or persons that are legally charged with taking responsibility for raising your children. Now, the selection of a guardian is a very difficult decision and should be carefully considered by you and the guardian. Some of the questions that need to be asked are, is the guardian physically and emotionally responsible and up for this task? Are the dynamics of the guardian's household conducive to handling and what you're asking for them? And then will they have the financial resources to raise the children you want? And then what can you do to help alleviate the financial burden that is placed upon the guardian?
Yeah, that is a lot to put upon somebody, but definitely an important decision. So when a guardianship ends at 18, and that's often called the age of majority, what happens then? Are kids simply on their own? Do they have to receive, do they receive their inheritance, or are they financially responsible? I mean, that's still a pretty young age.
Yes, those are excellent questions, and they need to be asked and addressed. And I've got a couple more issues to talk about.
Okay.
So another one can be, is the guardian able to pay for the expenses? And maybe a resource could be life insurance to help fulfill the need and raise the child through my minority, and even cover some of the expenses of college. Additionally, does it make sense to hire a trustee who could help manage the insurance assets and other assets provided by the parents for their children? And this may also alleviate some of the burden on the guardian and be a better mechanism for ultimately distributing and using the funds for the child's benefit.
All very important questions. And Chris, we're almost out of time, but do you have any final thoughts for us today on this?
Yes. So a qualified legal counsel is very important, and also in consideration with your financial advisor. Together, the two of them can help take this complex subject and make it much more easier to understand and be usable for you in the future.
All right, Chris, we always appreciate your insight. Thanks for stopping by today. And to learn more about Endeavor Private Wealth, you can visit endeavorpw.com.